Did you know that your emergency savings could actually be losing you money? Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Cash Compass. Today, we're talking about emergency funds. Not whether you need one, you do, but how keeping all that money just sitting in a basic savings account might be hurting your finances. Stay tuned until the end because I've created a completely free emergency fund calculator that you can download to optimize your savings and potentially earn hundreds more in interest each year. Before we dive in, hit subscribe and that notification bell to join our community of smart money savers. Today, I'll show you how to protect your finances without giving up on growth. The calculator I'm giving away today has helped hundreds of our community members transform their emergency funds from stagnant savings to money that works for them. Let me share a quick story. Last month, my friend Sarah needed $4,000 to fix her car when the transmission broke down. She had saved $15,000 in her emergency fund in a regular savings account, earning just 0.5% interest. At the same time, prices were rising about 3.8% per year. This means her savings were actually worth less over time. When she needed the money, it was there, but it could have bought more stuff when she first saved it than it could now. The problem isn't having emergency savings, it's how most people set them up. Traditional advice makes you choose between easy access to your money or growth. But what if we could have both? That's exactly what our calculator helps you figure out for your unique situation. Today, I'm sharing my three-layer emergency fund system that gives you both quick access to cash and protection against rising prices eating away at your savings. Your first layer should cover 1 to 2 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. Right now, online banks like Ally, Capital One, and SoFi offer between 4 to 5% interest, which is much better than what regular banks give you. When the Federal Reserve, the country's central bank, raised interest rates in 2023, customers at online banks like Marcus by Goldman Sachs saw their rates jump from under 1% to over 4%. People who stayed with traditional banks still earning next to nothing on their money. For months 3 to 4 of your emergency fund, think about using Treasury I bonds, which are government savings bonds that adjust with inflation, rising prices. During 2022, when prices were rising quickly, I bonds were paying over 9%. You can't touch this money for the first year, but after that, they offer a great mix of safety and protection against inflation. Even billionaire investor Warren Buffett keeps a lot of his company's cash in short-term Treasury investments. In 2023, his company Berkshire Hathaway had over $100 billion in these safe, government-backed investments, showing that even the world's best investor values this approach. For months 5 to 6 or beyond, consider a safe mix of short-term Treasury ETFs, which are like baskets of government bonds, ultra-short bond funds, very stable investments, money market funds, another type of stable investment. During the 2008 financial crisis, when many investments lost a lot of value, portfolios similar to what I'm suggesting only went down by about 4% when the overall stock market dropped by 37%. That's protection when you need it most. Here's where my advice is different from what you usually hear. Your emergency fund doesn't need to be 100% in cash or savings accounts. If you have good insurance coverage, health, disability, home renters, and more than one way to make money, you might only need 3 to 4 months in very accessible accounts and the rest in slightly more growth-focused investments. For example, research shows that a portfolio with 20% stocks and 80% bonds has historically provided better returns than cash while still staying relatively stable. During the 2020 COVID market crash, these kinds of portfolios recovered within months while still being accessible if you needed the money. Let me walk you through setting this up with a simple example. First, add up your monthly must-pay expenses: housing, food, utilities, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. Let's say your monthly expenses total $4,000. For a 6-month emergency fund, you'd need $24,000 total. Layer 1. Put the first $8,000 covering 2 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account for immediate access. Layer 2, put the next $8,000 covering another 2 months in I-bonds or treasury bills. Layer 3, put the final $8,000 covering the last 2 months in conservative investments. This way, your full $24,000 emergency fund is working harder for you while still giving you quick access to the money you might need right away. If you had a small emergency, you'd use layer 1 first. For bigger emergencies, you'd then move to layers 2 and 3 as needed. Now you might be thinking, but what if I need all the money right away? That's exactly why we use this layered approach. Your layer 1 funds can cover immediate emergencies while you access money from layers 2 or 3 if needed. Most emergencies don't require your entire fund at once. According to research, the typical unexpected expense Americans face is around $2,000, which would be easily covered by your most accessible layer. When Mark from our community lost his job during the 2023 tech company layoffs, he had 6 months of expenses structured in this layered approach. He used layer 1 for the first month while job hunting. Then as his search continued for 3 months, he carefully used portions of layer 2. The entire time, his layer 3 funds actually grew by 3% while he was unemployed. When he found a new job, most of his emergency fund was still intact. Beyond just the numbers, there's a mental benefit to this approach. Traditional emergency funds often feel like dead money, leading many people to save too little or use their emergency funds for things that aren't really emergencies. By giving your money a specific purpose at each layer, you're more likely to respect the boundaries between emergency and non-emergency spending while still feeling good that your money is growing. So here's my challenge to you. Look at your current emergency fund and figure out how much buying power you've lost to inflation over the past year. Then, in the comments below, share which layer of this system you plan to set up first. As promised at the beginning, I've created a free emergency fund calculator to help you figure out the best setup for your situation. The link is in the description below. Just download it, open it in any web browser, and enter your information to get a personalized emergency fund plan. This is the exact same tool I use with my financial coaching clients, and today you're getting it absolutely free. Next week, I'll show you how to use these same ideas to create a home down payment fund that actually grows while you save. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and remember, smart finances aren't just about making money, they're about keeping it working for you, even when life throws unexpected challenges your way. Until next time, this is B from Cash Compass. Stay financially strong, friends.